It is 6 o'clock. It is Wednesday morning. We're starting you off with actually a beautiful view of a roundabout, which I know that doesn't sound like that would be very scenic this morning, but it is the Al Unser roundabout, and it will be hard to miss. This is always a big spot right outside of Gate 1 anyway at the Speedway, but it was just dedicated to the Indy car legend yesterday. So we will hear a little more from this family a little bit later this morning, but it is shining nicely this morning.
It is.
It is 6 o'clock. Welcome to your Wednesday before race day. So we have so much to catch you up on. I know that we're all kind of winking or wincing at the forecast and seeing how much dry time we'll get in before carb day, but we know you got to get out to work and such too today, and it is a wet start.
It is a wet start. You're going to have wet roads even if the rain has stopped, because it was all overnight, but you say it's going to be an on and off thing all day today.
I think so, especially if you're south and east of Indianapolis, which yesterday we tried to get in some girls track sectionals, but then we had the storms. Today there's girls tennis sectionals. There's so many sectionals trying to happen this week.
Right.
We need the rain to get out of here. Of course, we need the rain out of here for the Indianapolis 500.
Just because we're asking, it's coming down harder this morning.
Yes, in fact, it's about to pick up too here in just a moment. You're looking live in Indianapolis from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. What a beautiful view, and the camera is pointed to the east so you can see the skyline of Indianapolis. It looks nice, but it is definitely a gray and wet start this morning. Even if it's not actively raining where you live right now, expect some on and off showers throughout the day. Go ahead and grab the rain jacket, the umbrella. It's a little bit cooler this morning and still kind of muggy, but the mugginess will be going down today as the front pushes out. But as the front's still here for a little bit, we'll have the scattered showers. We're in the 50s and 60s out there this morning. It's 63 right now here in Indianapolis, 61 in Kokomo, 68 in Bedford. Warmer to the south because there's a front that's sitting right over Indianapolis. And the rain showers will have to hug the front or be just to the south, and that's what we're seeing. Right now we're dry here in Indy other than a spotty sprinkle, but we're watching a heavier wave of rain come in from the south and west coming up 69. There are also some good downpours over parts of Taylorsville, Hope, Edinburgh, southern Shelby County. We've got some rain crossing I-74, Morgan County, Martinsville, Monrovia, Mooresville into Hendricks County. We've got a couple of showers, but we're really going to be watching this next wave coming into Bedford and Bloomington and coming up I-69, really skimming especially the south side of Indy. And we don't need any more rain. We've already picked up 2 to 6 inches of rain for many of us this week. But there is rain out there coming up. We're going to time out when the back edge of the rain will finally clear us and when maybe one more round of rain up towards Montana, that next front, will arrive. We'll have those details for you. Let's talk traffic this morning. Roads are wet, especially if you are east or south of Indianapolis. There may be some extra road spray, but if you're coming into Indianapolis from the east side, as soon as you pass 465 at the interchange, which is slow now, you're going to run into this jackknife semi. You can see it right here. The trailer is actually overhanging the barrier in between east and westbound lanes. There's one lane that is open, so traffic is moving, but it's definitely slow right now. Here's a wider view. They've got the crane out there, so hopefully it can be able to be cleaned up here shortly. Julia?
All right, well, we are getting closer and closer to race day. Only 4 days left until the 110th running of the Indy 500. And this year, there are some definite changes in the parking, and it's supposed to help alleviate all of the problems after the race.
Right. So one thing, if you're looking for parking this morning, it's sold out too. So we do have some tips for you. There are some ways around it in other organizations that are stepping up and saying you can park there. But Anna Chalker has given us the rundown of what you need to know before you're heading out to IMS this morning. Hey, Anna.
Hey there, ladies. We like to call it the race before the race, trying to get here to the track Sunday morning, getting ready for the 500. And like you mentioned, parking is sold out this year, as well as the tickets for inside the track here. And the crews are used to that because of last year it's selling out. So they're like, hey, we can welcome everyone in, but they're still asking you if you're coming in. There's still a lot that's going to be on you when you're getting here to make sure all of this runs smoothly from the time you get in till the time you leave. So here are some big things with parking you need to know. If you weren't a lucky one that got one of those passes, IMS is suggesting that you find a lot that's farther away from the track so it's easier for you to leave. And if you are taking rideshare here, it will drop you off and pick you up at 10th and Polko. That's just outside of IMS, kind of near Tunnel 2. And another few big notices this year is that Speedway is cashless again, so make sure you got that credit card on you, and gates will open up at 6 o'clock in the morning, so you'll need to know which gate you need to enter, as as lines will be growing all day. And when you're in line, make sure you have that ticket ready before getting in.
We're going to do the best we can. It is a lot of people in one location. We've made some changes in the traffic exit plan this year that we think will help expedite that a bit. So we're looking forward to seeing how that works. But again, it's just about being patient.
Now, for that exit plan that IMS and IndyCar President Doug Bowles just mentioned, it's going to be a little different this year. So they're breaking the track up into quadrants, 4 of them, we'll say. So say that you're parked on the northwest side of the track. You'll have to follow that flow of traffic made by the officers. So say you parked on the northwest side, but you got to head back south side of the state. Something important for you there. Make sure you know that you've just got to turn around on an interstate or somewhere farther away from the track just to make the flow of traffic leaving much easier. Now, what I'm showing you here, this is the Indy IMS app. This is what's going to help you out. It'll give you a schedule, like here's the schedule for today, or come race day, it's going to give you all the wait times when it comes to the gates, how long it's going to take you to do that. So really a lot going on with this. Make sure you have the app, know what's going on ahead of the time, but you also need to know what you can and cannot bring inside. So coming up, we'll outline that for you.
All right, and we noticed you put the umbrella away, so that's some good news, at least, for the folks out at the track. Thanks, Anna.
All right, let's look ahead to some more of our race week coverage here. You know, we'll be at Carb Day on Friday.
Yes, we will. Then Saturday, you can watch the Lucas Oil 500 Festival Parade live on Channel 13. That starts at noon. And we will also rebroadcast the parade right here on WTHR. Well, excuse me, we will rebroadcast it over on WTHR Plus at 7.
So then you can join us at 5 o'clock on race day morning. You'll be up anyway. Just click over to Channel 13. That's where we'll have all of the pre and post race coverage starting on 13 News at 6. And then a lot more on WTHR Plus all throughout the day.
Well, a former IMPD sergeant has learned he has been sentenced to 9 years in prison for a federal child pornography charge. 44-year-old Javed Richards has admitted to sharing child pornography. And the 44-year-old was showing up for his hearing in downtown Indianapolis. This is video of him. He pleaded guilty to distribution of visual depictions of a minor engaged in sexually explicit conduct. As part of that deal, the court dismissed 5 other charges against Richards.
A 19-year-old man will now serve 2 years in prison for a shooting at Castleton Square Mall.
This happened right in the middle of the 2024 Christmas shopping season when the mall was obviously just packed with shoppers. Security video even showing Aaron McClure and another person chasing a teen they had apparently had another issue with earlier with guns drawn.
During that chase, the victim fell and then ended up shooting another in the leg. McClure has 2 other felony cases against him that are pending.
Well, this morning, 2 Indiana State Senate primaries are headed to recount.
That includes District 23, where that margin for victory is so slim. It is just 3 votes. Marina Silva is at the State House this morning, breaking down really an obscure law that could change the outcome of this race. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, it's a 100-page petition for a recount filed by candidate Paula Copenhaver. Now, her legal team believes that some voters voted illegally in the Indiana State Senate Republican primary in this last primary election that we just saw. Now, the question at hand, who gets to vote for which party in the primaries? Paula Copenhaver says some voters publicly admitted that even though they voted in the Republican primary, they plan to support Democrats in November. Now, that's where the state law comes in. You're only supposed to vote in a Republican primary if you voted mostly Republican in the last general election, or you're intending to vote mostly Republican in the next general election. Now, keep in mind, Indiana does not keep track how you vote, nor does it require you to declare a party. So here's where the issue comes in. Copenhaver claims people admitted on social media and in news interviews that they normally vote Democrat and plan to do so in November, and they only voted Republican this time to influence the outcome of the race. Now, she's arguing that if those votes are legal and these are illegal and these court documents list all those names plus some of those screenshots. So we were actually able to speak to 3 of the voters that are named in here. So coming up at 6:30, I'll share a little bit about what they had to say. But for now, reporting live at the State House, Marina Silva, 13 News.
All right. Thank you, Marina, for that breakdown, although I still have questions.
Yes, very much.
6:10 this morning. Hey, Matt.
Hey, good morning. Marina and Anna are still dry right now. The ground's still damp, though. When you're looking at IMS, you see wet spots out there. There's another round of rain, though, that's on the way coming in from southwest Indiana, so we'll track that, let you know when that arrives. But I think it's going to be a wet school day. But we're almost to summer break. We'll let you know when you can expect rain on and off the rest of the week. Julia?
Thank you, Matt. A freak accident involving a manhole in New York City claimed a woman's life. We have new details on what might have led to this tragic incident.
And we're learning more about a deadly shooting at a California mosque. What writings from the suspected shooters reveal about why it happened.